What's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're having some fun and we're gonna have a party. Well, not really have a party. We're gonna play a party deck, but with a bit of a different spin. This is gonna be an Abzan party deck, but with an elf sub theme. And I have to give credit where it's due. I got this idea from Sam Black over on Twitter, and I kind of like it. Made some tweaks to the list he had, but overall I think the concept's very solid. So I think y'all are gonna enjoy this one. As usual, remember, if you haven't, please remember to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and then smash that notification bell so you get notified every time I have a video up. But for now, let's go take a look at this Abzan Elf party list. So we're playing 2 Bloodchief's Thirst, which this got added a little bit later just to have a little bit of removal. Playing Jaspara Sentinel, just because it meets a lot of boxes, right? It's a rogue, it's a 1/2, it gives us multicolor mana, which helps us with a lot of things. Wildwood Tracker, also an elf like the Jaspara Sentinel, since we're playing that elf sub theme here. Elderfang Disciple. The discard is, it's okay, but it's one of the few things we can play that's actually a cleric and an elf with an upside, so it makes the cut, unfortunately. 3 Mass Vandals. It's arguable that this could be a 4th Mass Vandal, and I would say to go ahead and add a 4th if you're playing best of 1. If you expect to see a lot of like Yorion Saga decks or something, that could be something reasonable you could go with. Tajuru Paragon, obviously you're playing full set of 4. 2 Herald, King of Skemfar, and we're playing 3 Squad Commander, 2 Toski, 4 Binding of the Old Gods, 3 Tazri, Beacon of Unity, 3 Covetous Prides, and a whole bunch of pathways, including 2 Crag Crown and full set of Bark Channels, just because it helps us activate Tazri a little bit easier. Actually, I guess we could switch these. I mean, make it 3 and 3. That probably is smarter. Now, one of the things I will say about this deck, when you go to deck build and you want to change anything in it, you have to be a little bit careful, because one of the benefits of the deck is being able to constantly find cards. So, like, even after your opponent casts a sweeper, you can keep finding cards and have like 2-for-1s and things like that, which if you fiddle with those numbers too much, you're going to take that away. And what I mean by that is you have like Tajuru Paragon, right? So you play it, you're almost always going to cast it and be able to find another thing. Same thing with Herald. You can go find an Elf or Warrior or Tyvar. We don't have Tyvar in this list, but an Elf or a Warrior, that's a big chunk of the deck, right? So we can go find that. Tazri lets you search, find more things, right? So literally, we had multiple games, I've already played where opponents swept the board 2 times, 3 times, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll play my one thing, go find another thing, and then it just kind of like stacks, because you can have like Tazri, go find Herald, play Herald, go find Paragon, play Paragon, find something else, right? And now you're back to just doing the same thing all over again. So you don't want to take that option away from yourself. Same thing with Covetous Prize. It can help you just go find what you need. Usually that's going to be Binding of the Old Gods or Bloodchief's Thirst, but just saying, those are things that are out there. Also, because you have the Binding of the Old Gods and Coveted Prize, you could move into a world where you play like a 4th Covetous Prize, get rid of the 2 Bloodchief's Thirst, and move up on like a Mass Vandal, maybe another Herald, if that's what you're looking for. So it is a little bit of flexibility in this list, but just as it is, it actually plays very well. And yeah, pretty sweet. So if you're looking for a way to play party, this is a way you can really take advantage of both the elf sub theme and still get some bonus out of the party mechanic and get a payoff, because you're actually playing Squad Commander, Tazri, and Coveted Prize, which all are payoffs for having party, which makes it feel better, because one of the problems with the party decks previously is even when you assembled the party, the payoffs you were playing weren't big enough to really help you out with anything, right? So here, this actually gives you that payoff for working to get those teams. And because you have stuff like Mass Vandal, Tajuru Paragon, they're helping fill those gaps a little bit and make it a little easier to hit your party as well, especially since you have cards that can search for them. And don't underestimate Toski. Toski is going to draw a fair amount of cards for you because you can keep refilling the board. And one of the reasons Toski works so well in here is because you want to have 3, 4, 5 creatures on the board, right? And you're setting yourself up to get hit with the removal card. So even if you can get to your party limit You go ahead and play Toski. You attack once, draw 3 or 4 cards. Then if your opponent sweeps the board, you're like, fine, play 3 creatures again. Cool. Attack with Toski and these other things, right? And it just keeps going. So I don't think Toski goes in all creature decks, but I think in something like this where you're trying to go wide and it's one of your only real strategies, because it's all the deck's really doing, then Toski's a really good fit. I'm definitely mulliganing that one, keeping this one. What can we do with it? I mean, we have a warrior and a rogue we're gonna have. Keep this. This is a hard one to toss back, actually. Or what card to toss. Because I actually like both of these. Playing against Luris. Ooh, boy. I'm going to toss this Tazri, which is probably wrong. But there's a chance they have spot removal. And it's going to be harder for them to kill a Toski, I think. Well, it doesn't really matter here anyway. They're playing rogues. And we don't have a real creature draw. Though we did find another Tazri, which isn't bad. Now we're hoping to get an untapped land. That's our goal. Unfortunately, they did flip a land that we would have got turn 1, which would have been nice. Because the goal here is we could play Elderfang Disciple, tap that in a Sentinel, and then play Wildwood Tracker, and then that sets us up to be able to play this pretty well. But we'll have to see first. The Sentinel may not even live, as it is. Oh, they're just going Cacophony. They're doing the hard mill. Alright. Well, sure, I don't have a reason to block. I ain't interested in what you're selling, let me tell you. Alright. Yeah, we might as well attack. I mean, we're not going to get anything else out of that. Yeah, this does not look promising for us from the get-go. The other reality is, too, like, if we're... Actually, you know what? After this game, I'm going to make those changes. I think we need to just be playing some spot removal, which we don't have in here currently. Even if it's just Bloodchief's Thirst, I think it's totally fine. Also, Bloodchief's Thirst is really good against the various, like, trickery decks or whatever when they hit their planeswalkers. So, that seems reasonable to do anyway. Yeah, we'll go ahead and block. I mean, it keeps us from casting stuff this turn, possibly, but, you know, what are we going to do? Okay. So we can play Herald and then just trade, and then try to cast one of these next turn, I guess is the next best thing. What do we take here? I'm tempted to just take this. And then mostly because we can just trade that instead of trading Herald. I mean, it's just another warrior, so it doesn't help us all that much. Hey, Carrie Weaver, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in today and liking the stream. Trying this Abzan party list that's got an elf sub theme. We're going to see how it goes. Yeah, we don't really want Extinction Event because we have to play around that with our own creatures, so that's not what we're going to be looking for. I think we want something on the cheaper side. Like I said, we're going to be playing some... I think I'm going to go with just Bloodchief's Thirst, I think is what we want. I'll have to go, and I'll probably end up putting 3 copies. I just have to figure out where they belong. Alright, opponent decided to drown in the lock. Alright. They probably aren't going to attack with their Thieves Guild Enforcer here. We don't hate that at all, actually. That works quite well. Okay, so if we play this, that costs us 2 mana. We can get 1, 2, 3. That would still let us play Tazri. But I actually kind of want to play Toski here. Though drawing cards is not the best plan against the Rogues decks. But they can trade us their Thieves Guild Enforcer, or they can give us a card. Alright, Binding of the Old Gods I like, because it does give us a chance to get rid of Luris, which could be important in the coming turns. Of One Mind, they're just going to draw some cards here. Alright. Don't hate it. We'll block with Toski since Toski's indestructible. Yeah, that was weird choice by the opponent. But, you know, don't hate it. Kind of helps us out. Let's go ahead and play Elderfang Disciple. Cost the opponent one of them tasty cards they just picked up. And that gives us a Cleric, a Warrior, Rogue. So we'd still be short a Wizard. Just debating if I want to go find something with Covetous Prize here. But since we don't have the full team, I was thinking about going and get... you play this and stream this also? That's pretty cool. I just followed a couple people yesterday who stream Magic. Do I attack with all of this? I mean... We're going to end up playing Binding of the Old Gods next turn anyway. We still have 33 cards. Does drawing 3 matter here? I'm just going to draw 2. Okay, one was a land. Another was a Tazri, which doesn't help. Oh, you stream on mobile. That's cool. I was kind of wondering how many people were going to do that. I just posted a big review on it when it launched last week. And I got a ton of views. I'm at almost 6,000 views on that one, which is pretty good for me. Over on YouTube. But, yeah. Cool that somebody's actually streaming that. Alright, so what do we want to do here? We could let this Tazri die. If we wanted to. It wouldn't be that big a deal. Opponent's at 16. If they block Tazri, they take 2, 3, 4, 5. However, we'd also draw 5, which is kind of scary here. Not going to lie. We could, though... Let's do this. Here's the thing we can do. We can just kill a Thieves Guild Enforcer. We know the opponent is going to be able to play Lurrus and replay it. We know that, right? So we can also Covetous Prize, though, and go find the other Binding of the Old Gods. Draw 5, go to 25 cards. Know we're going to lose 2. Go down to 23 cards. Possibly lose 3 more. Could be at 20 cards. But the opponent would be at a lot less life. So it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Puts them at 7. Alright, this is a gamble here. Because it's not a May, it's just you just draw. Well, if we can keep a full team, then we'll Covetous Prize, and we'll just be able to play that next turn anyway to kill Lurrus. Opponent would have to block 4 and take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that could just still be what we need. Let's see what the opponent has, though. Because they could have, like, Lurrus creature. And then that creates a different problem. Internet's bad, so you stream on your... Oh, that's tough. Yeah, you gotta have good internet. I upped my speed, because I needed a faster upload, so I could upload videos faster when I'm done streaming. And so I definitely had to increase my internet, and it kind of sucks. Kind of rough, too, because there's an internet company not far from me that is just outside of my range that has better stuff for a lower price. So I got to deal with Xfinity and Comcast, which is not the best. But we're just waiting on the opponent here to do something. I don't know what the opponent's up to here. Alright. End of the story. Well, if that's all they got, then they're dead. Yeah. Well, that's not true. They could have... Yeah, even if they have Thieves Guild Enforcer twice, it doesn't matter here. Because they can block 4, take 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're dead. Pixel Corb. Not Pixel Corp. Just Pixel Corb. Don't know what that means. Alright, opponent, what do we got? They're mulligan. We're keeping. Not much reason to mulligan here. I mean, we could, but we're not going to find much that's too much better than this. Alright, we'll go ahead and just play us one of these. And if you're wondering why we have these lands in here that, you know, 1 or 2 of them that can produce red or can produce blue, it's mostly to make it cheaper on Tazri whenever we go to search. So, speaking of which, I might want to find one of those Blood Chief's Thirst we just added to get rid of a Cleric of Lifespawn. Because those things can get big and scary and annoying quick. No attacks. We're just going to hang tight for a little bit. No reason for us to do anything there. Opponent's got another Speaker of the Heavens. Alright. Agonizing Remorse. Well, you get a Binding of the Old Gods. Which we're going to bind that Cleric of Lifespawn, let me tell you. Yeah, as I say, you either attack and trade or you're just going to lose it either way. Like, it's like, your call, opponent. I don't care. I will let you decide. So I got to play this. I'm going to play it on red just so when I'm going to bank on finding a Tazri. I'm going to have high hopes for the future. Alright. Actually, you know what? I might have messed up. Because I play another Cleric. This becomes a 4, but then we just take some damage. I would rather be in a situation, really, where when I do this, the opponent won't have as many outs. So, no attack. I don't want them to be able to gain life unnecessarily against the Speaker and get us into a weird spot. So I'm going to try to avoid that. Matt Hyder, thank you for coming back to the stream. Welcome back. Alright, so though I messed up a little bit last turn, I think we're going to get bailed out okay here. So we'll go ahead and auto pay. We will tap one of these folks. Get rid of that Cleric of Lifespawn. No attacks. Like I said, we're just not going to let the opponent get the easy life gain here. Luminarch Aspirant, sure. It's a thing. I mean, here, we're about to start attacking, so the opponent's going to have to do something. Ooh, double squad commander. I like that. So, we have a rogue. So, if we play this, we will have everything when we cast this. So, we get max value. We'll tap this. And then these two will have indestructible. Actually, I probably need to attack with one of them, right? Don't want to block with it. Yeah. We go first. What can I do with this? I mean, we could play Wildwood Tracker. We could play Paragon. This hand's actually... I'm going to keep it, but this is probably a bad keep. This is green-white. I'm going to do this just in case. Keep my options for white, because we don't really have red cards, we just have red activations. Alright, Swarm Shambler. Oh man, if this is actually one of the decks I'm concerned about, this could get ugly real fast. I mean, we could have killed the Swarm Shambler, but then we would have just made a 1-1, and then we would attack with Tracker. It would have been a 1-1, and that wouldn't have been any good. Likely is just going to sit there. I assume the opponent's going to have a 2-mana thing. If not, we would gladly block it. I would be in that market. Are you going to fight my Tajuru Paragon? No, they didn't want to fight. Okay. Thought they were threatening us with a fight there. I mean, then I guess, I don't know, turn it into a 1-1 and then we at least get to attack. I don't hate that. What you got for us? This feels suspicious. The opponent checked out our Paragon. Then they... Okay, they got nothing. Weird. What were they doing? I always hate when that happens, because I'm like, what is the opponent setting up? Like, that felt really scary, and then nothing happened. That's always so weird. Alright, Old Growth Troll. Now, I will say this. This is where Old Growth Troll is really good, y'all. We played this in a mono green deck earlier this week. This is tough because if we do this to kill the Old Growth Troll, the opponent might just Vorinclex next turn. because it turns one of these into a double land. So they'd be at 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, they'd still be one short. They'd be one short. Well, they could play Gargaroth, though, and that's still bad. Okay. I don't love it, but don't have a choice. We can't just not do anything. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Not a lot we can do about it. Though we did draw our Blood Chief's Thirst, so there's that. I mean, hey, Terrell, thanks for liking the stream. Truthfully, what I should have done is just let the opponent have the Swarm Shambler, and if they wanted to block, they could block, is really what we should have done. Now I don't know if we're going to have any real outs. I think we're in a lot of trouble now. I mean, the only thing... Yeah, I don't know if this list can beat Mono Green... Not game one. With the sideboard, maybe. But game one, I don't think that's a real option for us. Only good situation is maybe we block with the Jujuru Paragon and can use the Vandal to kill off their Old Growth Troll enchantment. That might be the only thing we can do here. But even then, we're still in trouble for a lot of things. Well, never mind, there's a Vorinclex. So yeah, we're just GG's at this point, I'm pretty sure. Though we do have Binding on the Old Gods, which we can find. So... not gonna write that off just yet. Okay, we didn't find it. Like, we had outs, didn't get there. Base of viewers. And I feel like if I didn't do that, I would have people literally just posting Decklist all the time. We'll keep this. Get rid of Herald, I think. It's a little bit of a tough policy, but it's one of the things that's definitely helped me out so far. Because everybody wants to show off a deck all the time. Not that that's a bad thing. I'd rather people be excited about what they're doing than not. But it's just something I have to be aware of with my content. Okay, people. What are we doing? Bob Newbury, welcome. War Herald definitely had to go back to the library. This is weird, though, because I hope if this is a... Actually, if this is Grixis Giants, this is probably bad. I don't know what we're going to do, actually. I mean, the good news is we could at least... If we can get Tazri down, the stuff they have that sweeps the board deals 4 damage. So Tazri will at least live. So that's a bonus. But beyond that, I don't know what we're going to do. Opponent, I need you to not kill a creature. If you could hold that Bonecrusher Giant in your hand just a little longer, I'd appreciate it. Damn it. Well, it wasn't a Bonecrusher Giant. Still doesn't help us. Yep, that does a whole lot of nothing for us. A whole lot of nada, as they say. I have a feeling I'm about to lose this Jaspara Sentinel, too. Yep. Opponent's probably going to Bone Crush this. Don't worry. A lot of people are not great deck builders, and that's okay. That's why the internet exists, right? We're all building decks and sharing stuff. So, feel free. I always tell people there's nothing wrong with taking a deck list somebody else has already created, because truth is, I tell people it's like the electric car, right? Like, they didn't start completely over on how a car works. They took all the lessons from combustion engines and started applying that to other cars. Yeah, I think we're just dead, though, y'all. Like, this draw... I mean, when you draw all the expensive things, I don't think we're going to beat anything. I think we're just dead. Oh, man. I will tell you this, Carrie. If you never net deck, you're just doing yourself a disservice. You're going to spend a lot of time reinventing the wheel when somebody's already done what you want to do. Even if you just take it and you tweak it to be your personal flavor or whatever, that's fine. But, like, I get it. There's pride in people saying, like, I want to build a deck. But the truth is, even the best players in the world will just save time and get deck lists from each other. I mean, it's true. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're just dead. We're just dead. We can't do anything with this. Like, that was just a bad, bad hand. Ooh, what do we do with this? This looks bad. I'm going to keep, though. I'm going to experiment. That's what today is about. We're trying to just see if these decks even work at all, so I'm going to just try to keep different hands and see what happens here. Because that's how we learn, through failure. I'll go ahead and play this out there. Probably doesn't do much. We have a fair amount of 1 and 2 mana things, though, so even if we don't get an untapped land, maybe it works out where we can play this. Or, I don't know, maybe the opponent just has something small we want to kill with the Blood Chief Thirst. Whoa, Sanitarium Skeleton, what are we doing? I don't know what's happening, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna get in there for one. I don't know what the opponent's doing here at all. I feel like I'm going to get wrecked by something I am completely unprepared for. They're playing Ondu Inversion, some Gain Life lands, a skeleton that I have no clue why it's even in there. Oh, I have so many questions. So many questions. Alright, we'll get our 1 card from Toski. I'm assuming if there's a Banishing Light, Toski's about to eat it, right? Glass Casket does not hit Toski, though, so that's good news. I guess it's good I didn't lead with Herald there. Ooh, I don't hate having a Tazri to go with my Toski, though. We'll get a card. It's not bad. Go ahead and play a Herald. We'll get a Squad Commander, because we have less of those, and there's not a chance we're going to see a lot of them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this. I mean, if the opponent has a board sweeper, they have a board sweeper. I mean, Tazri will live through it anyway, so it's fine. We will get in there and get our card. Nice, nice. Don't hate that. We will play a Paragon. We'll play this. And then we'll pass. I mean, the interesting thing is if we do blow up the casket, we cost the opponent a card. Because that'll come back, and it'll give us a cleric toward our party requirement, which is kind of nice. But looks like we're about to be losing... Okay. So they're going to prevent damage from Toski? Sure. I mean, if that's how you roll opponent, you do you. Hunted Nightmare. Give a Death Touch counter to... I guess... the Paragon? I don't know. Let's see here. I mean, I guess we could just kill the Hunted Nightmare anyway, right? Probably want to... Well, do we want to save the Blood Chief's Thirst or the Binding of the Old Gods? I think that's the real question. I think we'll save the Blood Chief's Thirst, because I don't know what else the opponent's deck's doing just yet. We'll just get rid of that. This is the fun part about the format at this stage, though, is everybody's playing so many different cards. I have no idea what anyone's doing. Yeah, just in the turn. Like, if they have a sweeper, we just reload again. They have a sweeper, we'll just reload again. Another Glass Casket, sure. Seems fine. Skeleton, alright. Turn to their hand. Play Skeleton. Alright, they have a 1-2. How badly do we care that they have a skeleton? Probably not greatly. But... I'm kind of greedy and want my cards. So if they're going to keep spending mana to get this dude back, so be it. Alright, we got another land. I mean, let's see. If we get this back, then we play this. We have a warrior, cleric, rogue, and squirrel, which does nothing. I think we just do this here. Put this in tapped. Because there is a world where next turn, if we get the right card, then we can get this back. And then have indestructible plus a bunch of stuff. Alright, we'll start this all over again. Because this is what the opponent wants us to do. Alright. The opponent's deck is literally just a ton of removal and skeleton and a hunted whatever. Like, that's their deck? Alright, yo. If that's how you get down, sure. Squad commander? Oh, Tazri. That's what we want. Play a land. Play Tazri. Alright, so they're going to play their big giant. We kill big giant. We attack, draw some cards. Possibly activate Tazri. Nope, they have Murderous Rider. Okay, sure. Still is what it is. What are we going to do? Alright, we get a new Tazri. Well, this is just a card named Tazri, though, so that doesn't really do anything. Sure. We know what's in the opponent's hand at this point. Well, at least let's attack, right? They might block with their skeleton. Sure. Seems reasonable. We know what else is in their hand at this point. We play the squad commander. We only make 2 things. But that seems fine. The only thing we do is make them discard that. But we need to be able to kill the giant. That's more important. Alright. At some point, I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Like, they have to run out of removal, right? The giant's going to have to come down. Alright, you have skeleton. Sure, put another skeleton in your hand. Yep. Those are all real things. Alright, so we attack. They can kill our squad commander, technically, if they want to block a certain way. The Drew would live. Yeah, we're just going to get in and draw a bunch of cards. I'm not using this on either of these creatures that are on the table right now. That's just a bad idea. Alright, so you're going to give us 2 cards? I'm game for that. Alright, replay your skeletons too? Fine. Life gain I'm not concerned about. We're just looking to see what we can get card-wise. Oh, now that's a thing. Hold, please. Ah, this changes things. So let's get us... Alright. So this gets rid of a skeleton. Because they have to discard that from hand. Oh, it wasn't in their hand. These would have indestructible next turn now. We could play Tazri, and I'd be able to activate her. Alright, even if they get a board sweeper, we'll at least be able to activate Tazri, so I'm okay with that. But this really forces... Okay, yeah, we got the game now. Should be pretty hard for the opponent to come back at this point. Because now we can search. We'll take a Vandal. And I guess a Disciple, just in case. And of course we drew another Disciple. Alright, well we sat on this long enough, knowing we were going to need it for this point in time. We do have Warrior, Cleric, Rogue, Wizard. Cool, sounds good. Go to attack step. Everybody gets powered up. Man, we survived a lot of removal here. That was a strong win. I feel good about this win. Like, check this out. Like, and we get all the card triggers. Like, this was a lot to survive, really. Like, to fight through all of this. Not going to go ahead and use any of these, because if they have a sweeper, we can just get some creatures back. This is our last Tazri, so we want to maximize it as best we can. Yeah. That was a good win. So yeah, this ended up being a pretty entertaining list, pretty fun, has a little bit of game against everything, and it actually surprisingly showed itself to be very resilient. The one thing I will say is that it at least now for the first time feels like the party list at least has some amount of flexibility, you know, a few different slots you can go with, ways to search up cards, and that really gives it a little bit of competitiveness. Now, is it going to be a top tier deck? Heck if I know. But I do know that if you're interested in playing Party, this is at least one way you can play and know that you've got some game. For today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about a thing that all Commander players probably know about, but the signets. These actually are very popular, and you would think with all the mana rocks available and all the ways you can generate mana, that these wouldn't be that big a deal. Even being reprinted, some of them 3 times, 4 times. But, you know what? They're still sought after. They're still on buy lists. People still play them. So yeah, again, if you're buying collections or you're picking up stuff, like, dig through some bulk. Granted, you're not going to get a ton. You might get 10 cents, 25 cents. But you know what? They're not just bulk. People still want them. And they're kind of in every Commander deck, which is going to keep their value up to some level. I mean, they're always going to be tradable. But anyway, just want to give you that little tip in case you weren't aware. Dig up those signets. Go put them on a buy list. And I want to remind everybody, if you want this deck list, it's going to be down in the description below as usual. Also, that's where you can find the links if you want to come follow me on Facebook, on Twitch, on Twitter, or visit any of my sponsors, or even just come buy some merchandise and help me out, because we have those 10K by the once shirts that are only going to be up for another 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, but they're not going to be on very long. Also, remember, if you're shopping at TCGPlayer or Amazon, if you click either of the links in the description below, even if you don't buy the item that's linked, I'll get a small, like 1 or 2% kickback, which still helps me out a little bit. Don't forget, if you haven't, please remember to like this video, because that helps it get in front of more people. And then when you hit the subscribe button, you're helping me grow my audience. And then when you hit that notification bell, it lets you know every time I have a new video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.